Hey, and welcome to this fireside chat between Kyndryl and Lenovo. Today we're going to talk a little bit about distributed cloud use cases, verticals that it align to, and what Lenovo and Kyndryl are both doing to support this movement in the market. Today with me, I've got Mike Madonna with Lenovo, and also Kevin Powell with Kyndryl, and we're going to get through some interesting info as we move through this fireside chat. So, Mike, why don't you introduce yourself just briefly and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, thanks a lot. Recently moved to North Carolina, happy to be here. I am a executive here within Lenovo focused on software and solution. I lead product management, product marketing management for the software side, both on the organic side as well as our partners. And today we'll be talking a lot about our partner relationship and cloud. Happy to be here.
Mike, thank you. Kevin, how about yourself?
Thanks, Levi. Hi, everyone. Kevin Powell, offering executive for Kyndryl. I focus on our private cloud services in our hybrid cloud portfolio. So everything that we do with Lenovo and our other partners on customers' premise, colo facilities, or even a Kyndryl data center. And Levi, for those who may not know, Kyndryl is actually still a relatively new company, split up from IBM just a little over a year ago. But we have over 90,000 skilled professionals, over 4,600 customers, 75% of the top Fortune 100 clients, and really helping customers see the heart of progress and helping them move their business forward.
Yeah, thank you. So this distributed cloud model is kind of a relatively new term, Kevin. Why don't you give us a little bit of a background on it, definition, your understanding of what it means, and the value of it in the marketplace?
Happy to leave it. Let me start with a good partner of ours, VMware. So their formal definition, if I may to start, a distributed cloud is an architecture where multiple clouds are used to meet compliance needs, performance requirements, or support edge computing while being centrally managed from the public cloud provider. So the key really there is that last part, the public cloud provider, right? It's always been a concept of I can move a workload to a public cloud and then it's managed by the public cloud, or it stays on-prem and that has to be managed in an on-prem scenario.
Yep.
Now with distributed cloud, you have the ability to have a workload stay on-premise, but still be managed like it's a public cloud. So all the microservices and advantages of a public cloud now can also apply to a workload that still stayed in a customer's premise.
And is this like a new trend, or is this, is this kind of an emergence or an evolution of trends? What do you think?
It's really an evolution, in my opinion, right? I mean, the concept of distributed workloads has been around for decades, right? Whether it was client server or other forms of variations. But this is a real new wrinkle to it where it's getting the benefits, again, of the public cloud and the public cloud management and those microservices on a customer's premise. So age-old problem, but new implementation, and particularly relevant for the edge, right? We think about now, how do we bring more computing power to the edge? And those workloads have to process at the edge, but yet now they can be managed like they're a public cloud. Mm-hmm. And how do you get that best of both worlds? Always what we're striving for.
That's awesome.
You want to add something, Mike? Yeah, sure. At the end of the day, this is a reaction to the customers. No one comes in, I will build it and they will come. The customers started back in early 2010, 2014 as public clouds really became a reality. And now all of a sudden we're at that, we'll say we're never at the end, but we'll say we continue to iterate on that. And we're finding that customers are coming to ourselves and great partners like Kyndryl asking about, I'd like to have the public cloud values, but now on-prem. So at the very edge, we're talking about the ability to use consumption-based solutions on that, break fix, all the stuff that they saw in the public cloud that now is the last bastion that used to be CapEx, now they're asking to go OpEx.
And this growth rate, let me just quote a couple things here. So according to market digits, distributed cloud market is projected to reach $5 billion by 2026, up from around $1.3 billion in 2020 at a compounded annual growth rate of 26.4. So that's kind of a phenomenal growth rate in a fast-paced market. So you guys are fairly unique in the sense that Lenovo is fairly unique in the sense that you operate from the consumer all the way up to the enterprise level, right? So really broad portfolio. So from your perspective, what are some of the common use cases around distributed cloud that you think are the most beneficial to the clients across that entire spectrum, and how would they implement it?
Oh, thank you. Well, first let me just say I love those numbers because we're actually seeing acceleration of it. One of our other partners we're working with, Intel, and IDC. I deal with IDC quite a bit. They say by 2026 they see more processing at the edge or this edge type cloud than before. And then recently Intel actually moved it up. They said by 2025. So we're seeing an acceleration at the edge. But to your question exactly, it's all about having the same look and feel and what they enjoy in the public cloud, but bringing it to the local prem. An example of this would be a centralized management. On a centralized management, the ability to look at the public cloud, the middle part or the core or the edge as one single platform for either pricing, management, or the ability to expand and contract accordingly. We see, as well as that, we see the ability to now have a refresh, so break fix, the abilities to predictive analytics. So in the public cloud, you just have an SLA, you focus on the application, you less focus on whether or not the server is up or down. It releases the IT from this, and it allows you to focus what's core to you and to your customers. And so now on the public, now we get to the edge cloud or to that type of cloud we're talking about, we end up finding that we're focusing now on just the application because the IT or the back end takes care of break fixes or any SLAs required.
So the edge is our new modern use case, right?
Yes.
On-prem, we're getting some modernization of the legacy apps as well, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about a little bit, we talked about the growing trend. Let's talk about, for instance, Mike, from a product or solution standpoint, what's Lenovo doing to support this marketplace?
So first of all, in my organization, as well as Lenovo, we're part of the ISG. And so we have about 30 partners. I'm rounding it out up. 30 global partners. We meet with those partners, I wouldn't say daily, we meet with them quite often because as they develop their software, they come to us and give us insights on the type of hardware platform. So years ago, it was fit for purpose. You'd just build a server, build some storage device, and then you'd put it out to the market. Now it's more of a partnership because it's fit for purpose. The amount of memory, IOPS, this, that. We take all that ingress in, and then we look, and we could even get further to vertical markets to build something fit for purpose. And so whether it's Intel or AMD, they all have a different type of direction they head to. Second of all, not everybody wants one particular flavor. And so we at Lenovo look out and we study to find out what's the best of breed for backup that might have to be with it. What's the best of breed of management of it. So we look and we're able to develop solutions out there that allows us to identify customer needs and pivot at a speed that at one time, we'll say, 6 or 7 years ago would be uncommon. So we can move and react to customer needs much, much quicker.
Nice, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, let's talk a little bit about Kyndryl's value add here. You made a massive investment in the Microsoft relationship, and the Lenovo relationship, and you brought this together under the Kyndryl Private Cloud Services portfolio. What's the impetus behind that? What's the value you're bringing to market here?
No, thanks, Levi. Well, first off, our partners and our strategic alliances are key for Kyndryl, right? We are, as a managed service provider and a global service integrator, really are integrating our partners' technology and solutions for our end clients, right? So our partnership with Lenovo, Microsoft, and others are very important and key to this. In particular, in this space, what's really interesting is taking this technology that Mike talked about, these solutions at the edge, technology from the cloud providers, and from us turning it into a fully managed service, right? This way our customers don't have to worry about buying that equipment, getting the software licenses, installing, constructing it. We actually engage with our clients, starting with basically advisory and consulting services on helping them determine what is the right solution, how do we do the right solution for those specific application environments, and then take it all the way through the implementation and managing it for them. So just like on a public cloud, they can just use it. And really our goal is to help our clients focus on moving their business forward, and we provide all the IT and application environments they need underneath, and they don't have to worry about it because we do that for them, making sure it has the service level availability they require and is up and running so they can just focus on their business.
So that's a healthy value we're bringing to the table there. Okay.
I want to
add to that?
Yeah, I want to add to, thank you. So I want to talk a little about how we work with Kyndryl. One of the biggest investments we made really early on, this is way back in 2009, really early on, is something we brought over from IBM. And I know that's our common DNA, right?
Right.
So Xclarity. So Xclarity is a chip that's found on all servers, and what it allows us to do is publish the health of the server and all the subcomponents. So you can imagine today's world, as we get to an OpEx world and we're managing things centrally, if we can publish this information, the health of the server, it's no longer a 1 or a 0. It's no longer up or it's down. It's more of a grade. It is 75% this and that, and it allows our customers, as well as our managed service providers, to really customize the solution to our needs. Different from retail versus, in the middle between November and the holiday season versus inventory season. It allows us to really give insight to our substrate on how it's doing so that the managed service side of things can react and be more empathetic to the needs of our customers.
Yeah, that Xclarity software is key to our solution, right? We're using it as the managed service provider, monitoring the environment, and really it's not just the old days of just monitoring and make sure it's up and available, but how do you do more even AI operations and data analytics to say, hey, how do I keep this running? Where am I going to hit a performance snag in the future, right? When am I going to have a future issue? When I'm going to have a future bottleneck? When am I going to have risk of an outage? How do I proactively handle those and plan for the future, right? And that AI ops with technology like Xclarity is huge for the automation and efficiency of our environments.
And I just want to go back on that one. That's really a little bit of a hint of where the puck is headed, as a Canadian analogy would be, because the predictive analytics and the future of what we're talking about here today is all about seeing something, recognizing something before it occurs. Could you imagine a situation where 2 weeks or 3 weeks that there's going to be an issue, and then you can do a maintenance alignment or maintenance downtime. You can move your key applications on off. And that's really where the relationship is really headed.
So that's excellent. So we talked about a little value of Lenovo, we talked about Kyndryl, the relationship, why we're bringing this together, the market that's in front of us. Let's make it real for our clients, okay? How about we talk about a vertical? Can you pick a vertical that you think would add value and really highlight why we're doing this?
Well, there's a couple key verticals that we're really focusing on. I would say that retail's one, but let's go, focus a little on manufacturing.
Okay.
Manufacturing is really amazing. It's first global in nature. If you look at our two companies, one of our powers together, 2 + 2 = 6 in this example, we can reach the far ends of this world. And on manufacturing, what companies today at a certain size really just manufacturing one place? So the ability to go out and touch all these different manufacturing facilities, as well as being able to relate to even many of their subcomponents or other portions of it, really makes a difference. So now in a manufacturing plant, every minute counts. Every minute counts. And so that's where the service comes in, and this is where the architecture really comes in to make sure that we have strong uptime, and we also have the ability to react when something does occur, because not everything's always perfect.
Fantastic, thank you. So, Kevin, you and I have often talked about the value of our relationship with the banking financial service sector, right? We do a lot of work there, and we have years and years as we've worked together. Maybe you can highlight some value that sector would see as a vertical.
Sure, Levi. Yeah, financial services is a huge sector opportunity for solutions like distributed cloud, right? Maybe solutions in manufacturing, others, but any really highly regulatory or high data compliance industry, right? Healthcare, financial services, this is key for, right? A lot of customers think about, hey, I want those advanced analytics. I want someone to manage this. They think I got to get to a public cloud. But that's very difficult for customers who have the performance requirements of financial services, where you need that immediate response time. They have the data security, right? You think about Europe and GDPR these days, right? Very difficult necessarily to move workloads and applications, and cybersecurity, right? And resiliency, ever present on everyone's mind and a key focus. So to get all these capabilities of a public cloud management, these advanced data analytics, but have that for workload that can stay still in our financial service customers' data center.
Yep.
The workload doesn't have to leave their data center. It doesn't have to leave their colo facility of their choice, but they still get that solution with Lenovo technology, with Microsoft, with Distributed Cloud. We can bring that inside their data center, behind their firewalls, into their secure environments, but still give them those benefits so they can have the solution they need, but still meet the regulatory, the performance, their compliance requirements for those very difficult industries like financial services.
Kevin, thank you. Good example.
Yeah,
You want to add to that?
Yeah, I do. So I do a lot of data analytics and a lot of AI in my business. And so I'll give two analogies for those individuals who may not be that familiar with this. One, AI is really comprised of what data sets. It's the data is what helps us make the intelligence decisions needed. So I look at data almost like bread. I make a simple analogy. Bread has an expiration. You put it into your bread box or you put it on the counter. It eventually gets moldy, doesn't work. Well, data, same thing. When you're building data sets and you're building AI, data must be relevant. The second point to make is that where do you process this data? So there's this new paradigm happening where some of the data would process at the edge because that data expires like bread very quickly. And the data that you're going to use for a longer time, you may want to move to hybrid cloud, where the connection between the edge and the cloud and that glue between it, this is the special glue between Kyndryl and Lenovo. The managed service, because the expertise to understand how to manage it and also how to qualify whether that data is right or wrong is really the magic. And many companies look for us as well as Kyndryl to help solve those.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, I think we're coming close. So any closing thoughts you want to bring forward?
I just want to thank Mike and Lenovo and Microsoft and others for this partnership, right? I mean, really the technology is provided by our partners, right? They're the ones building the software, building the hardware, building these systems, and really enabling Kyndryl to then bring the full solution to our clients, right? We're focused on solving our clients' business problems, but it wouldn't be possible without the great partnerships and technology underneath.
Yeah, I totally agree. We didn't spend too much time on the Microsoft side of it, but I want to leave this with, the last big strong statement. Microsoft and Lenovo have an amazing relationship. Microsoft Azure, Microsoft CSP, it's the way you consume this. The ability for Microsoft to offer this, their skill sets, their knowledge is a real key part of our relationship and part of our success. So thank you.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you both. To our audience, thank you for listening in today. There will be a link at the bottom of the video for Lenovo. If you'd like to learn more about the solution, there's also a link down there if you'd like to engage with Kyndryl and get a custom engagement there. We can help look it over your solution and help you decide what might be right for you. Till our next chat, thank you. Mike, thank you. Kevin, thank you. To our audience, thank you.